Do you ever find that when you were talking to someone who's from another country and you're always nervous about asking them whereabouts they're from? Do you ever find that, like, there's some people who do take offense to it and some people who don't?
What do you mean, like, where you ask them where they're from?
Yeah.
I always just ask them, like, where are you from, mate?
Yeah.
But, like, there's a thing, like, how far... even people that are born in Australia with, like, Asian parents are saying... You ask where they're from, like, born in Australia.
Oh,
yeah, but where are you really from?
Yeah,
you know,
I guess.
where's, come on, you're obviously somewhere else. I don't know. We don't
Yeah, that's probably one awkward...
Yeah, well, if you say it like a dick, I can see why it's offensive. But I work with an Indian lady, and the other day, I mean, she's clearly quite, like you can tell she hasn't lived in Australia her whole life. She doesn't have the accent. She has an Indian accent, and her Indian name. And I asked her, oh, so Arthur, where are you from? And probably shouldn't have dropped her name, but that's fine. She's not going to watch this. Whereabouts are you from? And she's like, what do you mean? I was like, oh, here we go.
No.
One of these ones. What do you mean? I was like, where are you from? And she's like, Melville.
Okay.
Did you just go with it, though?
No, I kept pushing because I was like, this is ridiculous.
Was she like offended? Do you think?
Not really, but I could tell that she's looking at me like, why do you want to know? I feel like there are certain people, well, I think some people are like, have the attitude of why do you care where someone's from?
Yeah.
Whereas from my perspective, it's just like, I just find it interesting.
It's just part of the conversation.
Yeah, I get asked random questions like, what's my heritage? Usually by older white men who don't have any level of political correctness.
Who are just convicts.
I actually literally I was on the other side of it the other day. I was working at Bunnings and someone came up to me, an older bloke, like 85 plus, was like, all right, mate, whereabouts are you from? And I was like, oh, I'm from Bunbury. And he's like, he like actually laughed like that. He's like,
walked off? Like, that's made my day, mate.
Yeah.
That place doesn't exist.
Well, fuck it up. No, he went, no, before that, mate, before Australia. And I was like, what? No, I'm Australian. And he's like, nah, you're definitely some kind of Eastern European. Eastern European.
Which 13%.
Yeah, you're
something.
A lot of people reckon a lot of different places with you.
Yeah, I know. That's the first time we got Eastern European.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't know. Just wanted to ask you.
I would have gone Middle Eastern, possibly.
Middle Eastern European. Yeah.
I've heard that.
Yeah.
I'm even bored like Egypt, like kind of.
Fuck off. I do not.
Morocco.
Morocco, I like that.
Yeah, those kind of North African like ones that
sort of Senegalese.
Oh,
yeah.
Maybe in some places.
Yeah, maybe I look like Akon.
Around the eyes, I think.
Yeah,
That's
just
Senegalese around the eyes, I think.
Just from the waist down. So,
The feet.
I got hops. All right. Well, after that beautiful segue, True Footy Podcast 5.
Footy.
Yeah, straight into the footy. Boys, episode, is it 5 now?
Something like
I'm
that.
back.
Yeah.
I'm back.
Yeah, Lewie's back. He's catching up on the cockroach for most appearances in a podcast.
They're equal to
We're
now.
equal
Like,
total,
to a pace, yeah. They're to a pace.
Yeah, well, until the fucker shows up.
Yeah.
Mate, I think I killed him. I think I got him.
Doesn't sound convincing.
We've heard that before, remember? Behind
wasn't
the couch.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought I'd got him and then he just emerged again.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, well, this one is sort of like our New Year's podcast. It's the first one we've done of 2018.
Yes. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year's to everyone. Is it too much into the New Year to say New Year's? Like Happy New Year's?
Probably,
everyone?
yeah.
When do you stop? Like, when do you stop? Like,
He's getting ahead for 2019.
When does it end?
Yeah.
that's true.
So a lot to reflect on in 2017. Pretty eventful. We had a pretty average footy season, I would almost say. Let's just reflect on that.
Well, none of us are Richmond supporters, I guess.
Yeah,
So it's just-
no.
Yeah, thank God. But
It was a pretty strange season, though. I mean, I think everyone says, you hear every year, someone's like, oh, this is such a weird season. But the reality is the competition just changed slightly every year. So,
well, do you think it's become more like equal? Like the last, I think we talked about this before, but the Bulldogs, there's been no real dominant standout team. After you had Geelong for a while, then you had Hawthorn dominant, where you just thought Hawthorn was going to win every year. The last 2 years, I don't know if this is a common trend or this is just like the AFL just goes to these periods of like no real dominance.
Yeah.
The last 2 years, I mean, been won by outliers, really, haven't they? Richmond and Western Bulldogs.
I mean, there's sort of two schools of thought, I guess. Like, some people might think that it's equalisation measures, evening the competition.
Yeah, yep.
I'm inclined to think that it's not that. Just because you still have the bottom teams are still just as shit as they used to be. You know, the bottom 4 this year was pretty fucking weak.
Yeah.
You know, both Queensland teams were pretty rubbish, and North, I think, were 4th last Carlton. You know, those teams struggled as much as any bottom 4 team has in the past, I think. And then at the top, I think we've had just a bit of like a power vacuum, for lack of a better phrase. Just like nobody's come in from Hawthorn since Hawthorn sort of dominated for a while. And a few teams really missed opportunities this year to really, you know, grasp the premiership. But apart from Richmond, obviously, which kind of sucked.
Adelaide, they're the big one.
Yeah.
Like, still looking back, they're just like... It's like, how did they not win the premiership?
Sorry to cut you off there, but I was going to say GWS as well. It could have been their year to seize, and they didn't seize it.
The GWS was one before the season I was real confident in. But I feel like they just never hit that 100%. They're always at like 95, 90. Like it was, and then a few things just don't go your way. And but still,
early in the season, they only had like 25 guys to pick from. Or something.
They're still for me the best squad in the competition.
Yeah, I agree with that. In terms of talent, it's just that until I see a team really dominate and like get to the grand final, it's really hard to see. Mind you, like nobody would have predicted.
There's the bastard. I don't know if you see it on camera. He's
Fuck
up there.
me!
What?
He's still got the tide, Lewie.
There's a good chance it's just a fucking infestation.
It's can't rub it in. It's just the one cockroach.
I've killed him 5 times. I don't know what's happening.
They're like cats. They've got 9 lives.
Yeah, I'll say that damn bloody roach.
I've flung the fuck out of him many
Kind
times.
of disgusted.
That sounds sexual.
Okay.
Pretty low quality set.
I thought the gnome was a nice new touch.
Oh yeah. The 5th podcaster.
Yeah.
Why do you have this?
I don't know. It was just sitting on the counter when I came out here this hour.
Where do you even buy a thing like this?
I don't even know.
Salvos, I think.
Hey?
Salvos.
Probably something like that. I don't even know.
Someone has to have to buy
This
that.
is a nice one too. I like this one.
And are these Santas? Less festive or these gnomes?
Yeah, I'm guessing Chrissy. I'm
general
guessing they're out
gnomes.
for Chrissy. Yeah,
Bit of an
they look a
alarming
bit
trend.
Santa-y. Aussie Santa, I'm guessing.
This guy's a little scuba suit.
No, he's Aussies because he's white and
He's got a frothy in his hand.
He does.
A VB.
It does look a bit like a VB.
It's got ski goggles on there. Oh, they're swimming goggles. These guys flippers.
No, they're
Why
spade dealers. No, they're spade dealers.
Why do they look like that? Jesus.
Because he's from the North Pole. Jesus. That's Busher in 5 years.
Oh, nice. Dumbledore.
Hold on, holiday.
I've still got Harry Potter in our mind from our pre-podcast discussion. What can I say?
Yeah.
So what were we saying?
Come back to that later.
Yeah, this is a big chaotic.
What were we talking about?
The footy.
Yeah, talking about GWS. I was going to say Sydney as well are another team I probably thought were going to do better, but they really shot themselves in the foot this year.
They played catch up.
They were 0-6, weren't they?
Yeah.
And then were probably the best team in the competition for the rest of the rounds.
Who'd they get smacked by? Which was it?
Geelong, yeah. Geelong belted them, which was a massive surprise.
Especially because Geelong the week before had such a anemic performance from memory.
Yeah, anemic. And then the following week Geelong got belted by Adelaide as well. So,
And then the following week Adelaide got belted by Richmond.
Yeah.
It's just whoever hits the form at the right time of year. Even like we saw it last year big time with Bulldogs, and this year, even though Richmond were playing so well, I got to admit I was still just like waiting for them to choke.
Yeah.
But they didn't, to their credit. I mean, it doesn't matter. Form doesn't matter.
They actually,
for the whole year.
They're pretty steady.
They actually won the most games.
Yeah.
Though. The only contentious
finals.
thing is that that you could argue that Adelaide deserved it more was the fact that Adelaide had won or had got into first place and didn't host the grand final, which is a whole other issue. But but I think it is becoming a problem for the AFL, this whole grand final thing, because there's something like...
When's the last time a non-Vic team won now?
2012 with Sydney.
Sydney, yeah. So that was they beat
Who had
Hawks.
catch?
And then
who had Cola, the allowances there.
Before
that's
that,
true.
it was Geelong, Collingwood,
Yeah.
and Hawthorn. So how many non-Victorian premierships has there been since 2006?
Well, there's something like 5 out of the last 6, or something like that, some figure like that, where the interstate team has hosted the grand final, but played obviously away against the Victorian team and lost. So 2013 that happened. Fremantle were higher seeded and played away to Hawthorn, lost. 2014 Hawthorn smashed Sydney, same circumstances. 2015 West Coast earned a home grand final, got belted at the G. 2016 was the opposite. Oh my god, that roach is on the screen.
There's two. There's
one over there.
There's another one.
Fucking Jesus Christ.
Anyway.
Yeah. Anyway, you get. There's another one there. Holy
Just two.
shit!
Fucking hell.
That's one.
We should stop pointing them out. I think it's probably going to be.
Yeah.
We liked our Indian fans so much we decided to film this in India.
And on that note, I think we should start from the beginning.
That way tops anything offensive I've ever said on this podcast.
Because it's so sunny outside. What do you mean?
I wouldn't be surprised if it suddenly like
They drop off.
12 likes. I wouldn't be surprised if just when you're editing this, you just cut that whole thing out and then it's just like a
Neither
big
would
gap.
I.
Yeah,
That's probably a fair play. I'd say.
I'm not gonna lie. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Well, the 2006 and 2005 were both interstate teams as well, weren't they? Because there's
Yeah, exactly
West Coast,
right.
West
Yeah.
Sydney.
I read something today on Big Footy, so I know it's true. That no team has ever no non-Victorian team has beaten a Victorian team in the grand final without either COLA or list.
Yeah, I saw that.
concessions.
That thread's been going pretty big.
Yeah.
They're talking about the salary cap for Sydney, but the first post was talking about Eagles being a state team and things when they first came in the league,
Yeah,
which I didn't really agree.
That's actually quite
That's
a
a big contentious
myth.
issue.
It
is a myth.
I read
It's
a really
very
good
big
article
myth.
about how that's not really quite true.
Yeah, exactly.
I do think we had it better than other teams like Fremantle, for instance. We did have it better, but the whole state team thing is a complete myth.
I'll even admit
Segue.
Freo probably fucked up their first go around with some of the picks and stuff they took when we first came into the league.
Yeah, let's
They
not
could've
get
done-
into that.
Yeah.
We're talking about 2017, not 1995.
That's the thing. It's hard. Yeah. So the last time, when was the last time a non-Victorian? Oh, Sydney played Hawthorn, didn't they? And they
Yeah,
won
Sydney
that.
beat Hawthorn.
Besides that,
besides
Brisbane?
that, Brisbane
Or
beat
Port?
Essendon in 01. Was there any in between that?
There's the
Port,
Brizzy
no.
dynasty, but
Nah, Brisbane.
Port?
Brisbane
Port
beat
04?
Essendon.
Port and Brisbane,
Port
though,
beat Brisbane.
both interstate.
yeah, Port 04, yeah. Oh yeah, it's both.
Yeah, so
yeah.
Brisbane won in 01 over Essendon.
Yep. And then
Yeah.
Collingwood was 03.
The problem is,
Essendon
though-
twice,
True,
and then Collingwood, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah, no, they beat. Oh, Brisbane
Was
beat
Essendon-
3 Victorian teams.
At MCG.
Yeah, that's actually pretty impressive.
But they did.
They-
They did go through Fitzroy, and they had a lot of.
Yeah.
They cherry picked Fitzroy players. There's a lot
Did they have a bit of
concessions there
cola as well?
I think that was a big thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they could.
Maybe not cola. I don't know.
All right, having said this argument then, boys, I'll get you each of your opinions. Would you change the system so the top team gets the home grand final? Jesse?
It's a really tough one. I probably wouldn't. I'm a traditionalist. I think that game. I love the idea that the grand finals all look the same. They're all in the day. I love day grand finals. I want them all to be at the same ground, and I want them to be the best ground in Australia, the biggest ground in Australia.
Okay.
Doesn't mean there doesn't need to be some sort of solution though.
Okay.
Which is
Sure.
a bit of a
I was
cop-out.
sort of going to say, with the Perth Stadium opening this season, Adelaide Oval recently done the past couple of years, it's a bit more viable to perhaps have interstate grand finals of West Coast, Freo, Port, Adelaide,
Yeah.
whatever.
But
And
imagine having
top spot.
Imagine having a grand final at Spotless Stadium at GWS.
Oh
It
yeah,
has a capacity of 25.
they'd have to go
people or
SCG
something, yeah.
surely for that.
Yeah, true.
But then that's
And-
unfair.
or Subiaco.
It's not their grand
Subiaco's
final. It's not their
yeah,
home. Yeah.
Shocking.
Yeah.
Subiaco, to watch on TV is even
Yeah.
shocking.
Yeah, and
That's
then
imagine. Yeah. There's no. I don't really understand what the alternative is.
and would Geelong play at MCG in that
Karting,
event,
yeah.
or would they play at fucking
No, they never play
Geelong?
it. It'd be MCG. But
All
with,
right, Louis, what do you reckon?
well, with the Perth Stadium, I feel that we can only fit 60,000 people or something
Yeah.
like that in, and I think the big thing with AFL is money. I don't think they're going to want to kind of take
Yeah.
it away from the MCG and that many people there.
Yeah.
Over to plus, I don't think WA and probably Adelaide could deal with an influx of that many people.
Yeah.
Like the public transport systems is stressed enough. Like
Yeah.
imagine just like 40,000
point.
people.
They couldn't deal with a bunch of blokes driving across the Nullarbor in a van the other way around.
Oh yeah, I'm not. Yeah, that and some other stuff. But I think, yeah, I agree with Jesse. There's got to be another solution, but I don't know what that. I literally no idea what that is.
The
so
fairest
hard.
thing to me, I know this is not viable financially, would be literally create a stadium purely for the grand final and play it there,
Yeah.
in
Is it-
Alice Springs or something like that,
Yeah.
which we know is never going to happen. But
Like Wembley,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
The
true.
final of the FA Cup is held at Wembley every year, which, I mean, unless Tottenham make the
And it's not really their home either. Yeah,
yeah.
it's like pseudo home.
Yeah, final is there. But again, that's because it's the biggest stadium, which MCG is also. So,
you know what I would do? I would just let more teams play though that don't play every year, because like the Eagles, Fremantle play like 2, max 3 games here at the G. That's a massive disadvantage.
Let's talk. They don't. A lot of them don't get captains runs and things like that. Like before the actual games, they don't have specific training. It's just jumping straight into the field kind of thing, which is pretty hard.
What would you think about 2 away teams, interstate teams, playing a game in Melbourne? For example, Brisbane versus Adelaide. Playing at the MCG.
At a home and away game.
Yeah.
See, the clubs themselves would have to agree to it, obviously, because someone has to give up the money and the advantage of a home game. Yeah, exactly. It's a tough one.
What happened with that? Didn't Fremantle buy one Gold Coast home games this year?
The other way around. Gold Coast is playing a home game at Perth Stadium against Fremantle because of the Commonwealth Games. So
but they didn't. I think West Coast applied for that first, got knocked back, and then they gave it to Fremantle.
That'll be a nice boost, actually. You'd probably win at Metricon anyway, though. So
it's Gold Coast.
Yeah, but as a neutral, I'd just like to see. Not as a neutral. As a supporter of a West Australian team, I'd just like to see us play 4 to 5 games there a year.
Yeah. Well, now the left lane open stuff, they have MCG-sized training grounds.
Yeah.
And now Perth Stadium is a lot. I think it's longer, but not as wide now. I think as well compared to Subiaco. So
I think Subiaco is really narrow, so it might be the other way around.
MCG is wide. Sorry,
the MCG is wide, so yeah. But there really is no excuse for the way, particularly West Coast, shit the bed at. I can see looking at the roach. There's really no reason for the way the West Coast, in particular, shit the bed at the G.
But that's happened to Adelaide and Fremantle and also Sydney. It's a common factor, I guess.
True. Yeah. Even the Swans actually have a shocking record at the G. Yeah.
All right, but there was other stuff in the AFL that happened as well. Particularly, there's one man we got to speak about, and that's Dustin Martin. He had a sensational year, probably one of the better years we've ever seen.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? Yeah, Norman Smith, Brownlow medal, premiership team. I mean,
best and fairest.
Jeez, talk about you can't do better than that. That's literally it, isn't it?
He's won all the awards, but I still don't think. For me, he's still not quite on the Dangerfield 16, 5-15 level. 5-15, even though I do think he's really good.
I think 5 and 15 is probably the best dominant season since. I don't know. Would you say Gary Ablett or? When was Gary Ablett the year before? Was he 14?
Gary Ablett won it in 2013, I think.
Okay.
14. Who won it?
14. Judd somewhere,
Critters 14.
Oh, true.
Judd 20...
11? Wasn't Judd 11?
Nah, Dane Swan was 2011. Judd was either 10 or 12.
He came out of the blue. It just randomly just won it. It didn't. No one really thought he had
Judd?
dominant.
Yeah. It was
the second
weird.
It's kind of like a pity Brownlow.
A pity Brownlow.
We just have 2 Brownlows, but not like that.
Yeah.
But I think 5-15, the beginning of that season, probably the most dominant player since probably Judd, I reckon. Or maybe.
Martin got more votes though. Not that it's really the be all and end all.
Yeah, I know. But
he played every game, I presume.
True,
did he?
True. Yeah. I don't know. Probably. Yeah.
It was really dominant as well. Actually.
Yeah. He's a great player. Games. You can't look past it. The way he's so. We've seen a real trend in the last couple of years. Powerful midfielders, their influence on the game now is massive, and I don't think we really saw midfielders as powerful as this before. Maybe 2010, they didn't really.
With Judd, but obviously he was the exception, but.
Yeah, exactly. And even then,
revolutionised the role, I guess.
Judd was powerful, but even then, he's still not quite at the level that these guys are. I wouldn't say.
Really, I reckon Judd's way better than Martin and Danger.
More powerful.
Oh, you're just talking strength. Oh, yeah, I reckon he's not far off. Honestly,
I don't think he'd be as good athletically as Fife and Dangerfield.
I'm not sure. I think I just agree with you there. Maybe I reckon Danger probably has him in a sprint, definitely. But
you think, what
Judd's power off the mark.
Fife would flog him in a vertical leap.
So would Dangerfield.
Yeah, Fife would smash a lot of people.
So would Dangerfield.
Judd didn't have the leap. Yeah, okay. I'd say
he did have acceleration, but Dangerfield's acceleration is fucking amazing as well.
I think Judd was a lot better in traffic than.
Yes, I agree, but I wouldn't class that as an athletic.
Fair enough. Yeah, if he's talking
strictly
explosiveness
straight off the mark. and like getting to your top speed that quick, I think Judd was very, very good at.
Yeah.
I think Dangerfield is very fast and Martin's very fast, but I don't think they could get to the top speed as quickly as Judd.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think Judd's definitely in the conversation with alongside them. I'd say it's Danger, Judd, Martin.
In terms of athletic.
Yeah, in my opinion.
Where about
I mean,
Fife
I
going
probably
there?
would have had Fife above all of them for
Athletic
athleticism.
above, I'd say Fife's the best athlete.
Fife can leap, but he's not quick, I guess.
I'd say he's a lot.
He's a bit more of a
He's a
brute.
lot stronger than
Yeah.
probably all the other three as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's just a bit of a much for muchness. It's an
Yeah.
opinion based thing, isn't it?
We'll just send them back to the draft combine now that they're fully developed.
Yeah, that's it.
And then we'll get time machine for Judd because he's a bit older.
It's a good idea.
It's a good concept.
No,
It's
it's a
just
shit
break
idea.
the laws of physics.
Very novel.
Come on, Joyce, it's a pretty shit idea. Let's be realistic here, mate.
Where we had we have that
I was just
conversation?
supporting you, Matt.
Dustin Martin.
Maybe we just
So
talk
he
about
got
Dustin
more
Martin.
votes than.
Yeah, he did, but he played more games, as Joycey pointed out.
Good season.
Not
Yeah,
bad.
good
Very
season.
good. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and
That's
he can
the
take
best.
it. He could take it to that next level still.
I still, yes. I think it was a. Who is this contenders? Who else finished top 5 in the Brownlow this year?
So Tom Mitchell,
Yeah.
different sort of
Mitchell
player.
came third, I think.
Tom
Garbage.
Mitchell's much more of a
Don't
traditional
rate.
like
Don't rate
rover midfielder.
Sloaney was top 5, I'm pretty sure.
Sloan,
He's
I'm
pretty good.
a
Sloan's
big
good
Sloan
player.
fan.
Yeah.
Yeah, so-
Yeah, Sloan's good, but I think he's just like sort of an upgrade version of Shuey, is how I feel it. I still don't think he's up
Well,
echelon
He's not a
Brownlow
danger
material.
Fife Martin.
No,
No,
yeah,
he's not.
He's not.
Those are pretty special players,
Yeah.
though.
That's the thing, yeah. There's no.
Yeah, I'd say
There's
he's
probably those
definitely-
three, then everyone else, and there's a couple of the younger guys that could get in that area, like Bont in a few years once he's
Yeah.
fully sorted.
Yeah, I prefer Sloan to Mitchell, to Tom
Yeah.
Mitchell.
Oh,
yeah.
100%.
Oh,
Yeah,
so would I.
definitely.
But I still think Tom Mitchell's a good player.
Yeah.
He is.
Can't-
He's just a bit of an
If
ugly
you're up,
player.
if you're up against Tom Mitchell in the Brownlow, you're gonna have a pretty good chance. Like, well, not me personally. I get a shot. Like, no, but I think like
It's very
you
humble.
don't have, like, but like I don't know. I think if
Yeah,
he's your main
yeah.
competitor, I guess
Yeah.
for the Brownlow,
Yeah,
someone
I know
that's
what you mean.
accumulating but not too flashy.
What he has going for him is that he gets a mountain of clearances and touches in a shit team.
Yeah, like Matt Peters, I guess.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
I mean,
Right.
yeah, like he's just about looking like he could possibly be the best accumulator player, like of
That's
all
Dane,
time.
that's
the
like
current-
Dane Swan-esque, except Dane Swan,
Yeah.
he was
Well,
breaking
Swan was
records and
probably
stuff.
more influential with the
He was
ball,
more
wasn't he?
influential,
Yeah.
Swan.
Swanee was a bit of a freak in his own right. Like in his playing days, at one stage he was 95 kilos and he's only
Yeah.
about 183. Or
So
something.
stocky,
Yeah.
like
Didn't ever look like he had a like AFL ready rig either.
No,
just
he
looked like
didn't,
he
yeah.
punched darts.
Yeah.
Trained like
probably did.
CC and dries out.
Yeah, yeah.
Not even
Literally.
dries, yeah. Bourbon and
Jesus.
Cokes.
I've just looked up the rest of the top
was
five.
wondering what you were doing
Dusty
there, mate.
1, Danger 2, but he was suspended. Tom Mitchell 3, Buddy and Josh Kennedy rounded out the top 5.
Yeah.
Josh Kennedy from
Sydney,
the Swans.
Josh Kennedy, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
He's another one again
Series
who I
6.
think is good, but he's not quite on that next level.
Josh Kelly was right there as
Yeah.
well. He's one that's younger that could, maybe.
I'd say
Yeah.
Josh Kennedy and Sloan are right under the top ones.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Josh Kelly was sort of right there as well. Do you think he could
I
grow
love
into
Josh
that
Kelly.
role? Because he's only 21 or whatever he
He's
is.
an
Yeah.
interesting one.
I'm a big fan. I don't think he's anywhere going to catch the likes of Judd Dangerfield.
So you don't think he can get in that sort of...
I don't think so. I don't think
Yeah.
he's powerful enough,
yeah.
really. You
Kinda
know,
like a
He's
Dane
more
Swan,
classy.
yeah,
Josh-
he is. Yeah, he's like I think he could be.
He's
Like
a bit smaller.
He's,
Yeah,
he's, he's like a Simon Black kind of.
Yeah,
he
Del
reminds me of.
Santo. I think he could be like a better version of Del Santo.
Well, inside, I think the Dal Sando was never inside.
Yeah.
yeah,
no.
yeah, I know. But Josh Kelly's
goes,
quite outside.
I've seen him
still.
going to. He goes hard in contests, and I'm not sure if
Ew.
you could. and
How
Nick
can you
Del
possibly
Santo
know
is
that?
quite soft in most instances.
Ah,
As we've seen.
wow, that was a beautiful setup.
Thank you.
Now that can't stop the conversation dead, but
Yeah, we're having a nice intellectual
Josh
discussion. about
Kelly,
the
yeah, I mean,
Brownlow,
he
Jesse.
almost went to North. There's a big thing about North throwing people money all year.
Kelly,
Josh Kelly,
yeah,
Dustin
yeah.
Martin, and there's Dustin Martin was very, very close to leaving.
why the fuck
As
would you
well.
go to
I
North
can't.
Melbourne?
There's no money in the world, surely.
There was 1.2 extra dollars between North.
Imagine him agreeing to a North deal and then Richmond winning the premiership.
And he
Like,
win the
oh,
North Smith, yeah.
yeah.
That's like Riscatelli did. Well, not the same level. Riscatelli won the Brisbane Best and Fairest, and then it was like, I'm good.
Ugh.
Yeah. But like, it's not the same as winning a Brownlow, Norm Smith, and then being a premiership player.
Yeah, I think we talked about it in the trade and draft podcast, but I question why North went through like such an well, not so much Kelly, but Martin, why they went for a 27-year-old in their recruiting drive. Like, I would have thought
they
they'd be
need more than one player to
but
make a difference.
they need hope for like the supporters also.
Yeah,
thing. I mean,
they need quite a bit, don't they?
They need a lot.
That's true.
I feel sorry for them. But
I feel like a lot of clubs these days are not willing to go through the whole rebuild thing. Like some are obviously, but I think North in particular, because they're not as stable with their supporters and stuff like that, and their off-field side of things, they're not willing to fucking go bottom four for the next 4 years, which I think is on the cards for them, to be honest.
If being a North Melbourne supporter would be bloody hard, like at all times. I mean, when they had success in the 90s,
Late
I guess,
90s,
lots of people had, and then
they were a great team for a long time.
Even like
There's a lot of history
going
there, I
in
guess.
before
True.
this year, they were still pretty like they were competitive. Like they were top.
they played
6.
They
for
almost
the
made
past.
the grand final in 15 when they played us here. That was very, very close. And
They had a great start to the year, didn't they? Were they unbeaten?
Oh god, yeah.
Yeah,
they
they're
like
like
games
top-
the same.
Yeah,
They won
They
their
missed
first
the
9
eight.
games or something.
I think they
Yeah.
missed the eight.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That was not this year. It was either last year or the year before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
North.
Interesting that you say that North fans would do it tough. I was watching a documentary. This is related.
North fans doing it.
What's that?
The North fans doing it.
Doing it tough.
Gross.
Anyway, continue.
I was watching a documentary about the 2005 Ashes, and it's from an England's perspective. England obviously won; they were the underdogs. And Stephen Fry has a good sort of like anecdote. He talks about how he's a Norwich fan in the championship soccer, for those who don't know, and he says that because Norwich are pretty shit, he doesn't get that upset when they lose. But when they win, he's so much happier than anyone from Arsenal or Chelsea or Man City or Man United could ever be. So I feel like that could apply to the shit at AFL teams, like someone like Richmond in particular. They'll enjoy this flag so much more than when Hawthorn won their second or third
You
one
can
in a
tell
row.
the Richmond fans are enjoying it on social media.
Yeah, I mean, fuck them, but still.
A bit cocky now. Okay.
I know they're
Shocking.
they're cocky.
Yeah. They win one fucking premiership in 50 years or something. Fucking painting the town yellow and black.
Yeah, I know. I used to like Richmond as a kid, and then I've completely gone off them now. I think it's because they got good.
Yeah, because they didn't offer any like
like
competition.
threat. Yeah, exactly.
Nah, the 2005 series, I can never watch that
2005
Ashes series.
Oh yeah,
really good series.
It's a good documentary.
I was just I would hope Stephen Fry wasn't like linking Norwich winning to like England winning, because like the difference is
Well,
like
was that the first time
I think
they'd beat us since
I
1989?
think he was saying, well, it's the same in football when I support Norwich. When England beat Australia, it's so much better than when Australia beat England for their fans.
I swear they didn't beat us since 1989. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, we'd won like
four.
at least 4 Ashes series in a row.
Yeah.
And they'd finally beat us in what was a pretty fucking good series.
as long as he wasn't looking at it from like an odds standpoint.
I don't think so.
Because-
No.
I still
No, he
find it
wasn't.
kind of stupid that they say it's the best Ashes of all time, and it's just like just because you beat a good Australian team.
Yeah.
Um,
I don't know.
Well,
and even then, it was fucking
The
close.
only test they won
It was
was
a
once
good
that
series.
Glenn McGrath didn't play in as well.
Yeah.
There's a fucking lot of shit went wrong this series.
Speaking of match fixing,
That Edgbaston test was ridiculous, though. The one where we lost by 2 runs,
Kasperowicz.
Kasperowicz.
I was watching that behind the couch. I think that's just fucking
Yeah.
But there was another one where I think it was the third or fourth test where Australia held on for a draw. We batted for like the last hour or two with just one wicket. Yeah, Ponting got out right towards the end, and then we batted out. We held on for a draw, so it could have easily been 3-1 as easy as it could have been 2-1 to us. But.
yeah.
That's
There's
four-
Edgbaston
that's four-
where Brett Lee and Warren were in for like
Yeah, I think so.
pretty much all day, and Kasperowicz came in and got done with like a few balls left, and
Yeah,
Kevin Spacey was going wild in the crowd. That's something. I don't know. It's not even English.
He had
is
his
it?
yacht warmed up. Like,
Yeah.
okay, like afterwards, get Lee involved.
Come on, boys, hit the showers. Get inside. The game's done.
wait, is this seniors? Never mind. Speculation. You just get that?
That is
Is
definitely an edit.
I'll say this is probably going to be the most heavily edited yet.
That's right. Nobody watches this thing.
Nothing like a bit of pedophilia to lighten the mood.
Yeah, well, yeah. We did call it a true footy podcast.
Yeah, true. This is the call out.
Speculative footy podcast.
Controversial. Actually, we probably could have worked that into the title. Controversial. Nah, it's too much. Too much of a mouthful.
Yeah. Anyway, Kevin Spacey's a fucking dick.
Yeah.
He's not great.
We had to slip that in there just to make sure we're
We're not-
anti-pedo.
We're anti-Spacey.
We're officially anti-pedo on this podcast.
Yep.
Yes.
Officially.
All right. Yeah.
It's our official stance. We're standing by it.
Anyway, fuck me.
Only
Alright.
after you've had a
2005,
few.
man.
All right.
Is that the way?
That's the worst one yet. All right, boys. Let's go highlights and lowlights from the season, be it your team or in general or both. Joyce and Stank. Anything?
Is this
I've kind of
AFL?
sprung this on you.
AFL?
Yeah, let's go AFL.
Okay. Well, I think the highlight for Freo fans would be the win against Richmond. Well, there was a really good run of games for Fremantle. I remember you and me watched the game against Melbourne at the pub where I think they came back from like 25 points down.
Is that the one
Yeah.
Kirsten kicked the winner?
McCarthy.
No, yeah, that
kicked
was
the winner.
McCarthy. Kirsten did against North.
That's right. Yeah.
We beat Richmond at the G. Obviously Monday, there's
Yeah.
nothing better than kicking a goal after the siren to win a
David
game, even
Mundy's,
if you know it doesn't even
Well, you
make
beat
a difference to making finals or anything. It's just like Mundy's ice cool. Like he's definitely the Freo player you want to have
Great player.
taking that kick.
Well, the most spectacular thing about that game as well, not the most, but the fact that Richmond had just kicked a goal at the other end and basically won the game with 15 seconds.
I think there was 11 seconds.
11,
yeah.
far out. Yeah, there you go. And so everyone thought the game was iced, which
Yeah.
is, I love seeing shit like that, especially against Richmond.
And my low light, I mean, there was a few floggings.
400-point losses.
I guess the low light was probably reading. I'm going to change my highlight. The low light was finding out Weller wanted to go home.
Okay.
And the highlight was finding out we got picked 2 for him.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Yeah.
Wide range of emotions. Yeah. Fair
That
enough.
went from being pissed off to being
Yeah.
stoked in
Yeah.
a week.
Yeah, exactly. If that, I think it was
Because
only
even
a few
when
days.
there was the talk, Freo asking for Pitt, I'm like, I like it, Freo, stand your ground. show
Yeah,
some
me
guts,
too.
though.
They got so much shit for it as well. And it's like,
Everyone
why
laughed
shouldn't
at
they?
laughed at
Yeah.
him in the media.
Why shouldn't they? If he's a contracted player and he's a good player and he's young, we should demand something. Don't just get bullied, kind of thing.
Especially by Gold Coast, who have proven themselves a bit weak at the table
Meek.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it. We took advantage. I like it.
Yeah.
What about you,
Who'd you ask? Me?
Jesse?
Highlight. Ooh, it's a tough one. I'll go with a tie. Shuey's goal
Yeah.
after the siren. I think that's the obvious one. The other one was I probably enjoyed just as much was the round 23 win against Adelaide, where we had made the finals by percentage with literally the last or second last goal of the game. That was a pretty amazing game. It was the last game at Subi.
My favourite part was the Melbourne fans had already getting
They
their
sent out
tickets organised for the finals.
Yeah, Melbourne sent out brochures and
Yeah.
stuff where to buy your tickets.
Yeah, it was one of those rare games for me, I think, and you could say the following week or 2 weeks, where the Eagles actually showed balls, because this year we were criticised for shitting the bed a lot and proving that we don't. Yeah, off the field and on the field we were also pretty poor.
That Nui,
What?
would not want to see that shit in the bed.
Why? Because it would be
Wait,
larger.
Big boy.
I interestingly read an article. He doesn't sleep in a bed. He prefers to sleep on the floor.
That's true.
What?
actually. Yeah,
That's a half truth.
Yeah.
An oxygen tank. Things gives him magic powers.
So he
Yeah.
shits on
Simpson
the floor.
sleeps nude in an oxygen tent, which he believes gives him sexual powers. Simpson's quote for those.
Nah, Natnu does have a big set of bowels on him, so I'll give you that.
Multiple bells.
He's got 4 stomachs like a cow. Anyway,
Low light for the Eagles. Low light for the Eagles. Probably getting belted by the Hawks in round 3 at the G when the Hawks had lost by nearly 100 points the week before to the Suns. They'd been humiliated the week before. I think Matera kicked 6 up in Queensland, and Hawthorn were just on the bottom of the ladder, and everyone was talking about how if the Eagles didn't beat them at the G this time, they never would, and we got absolutely belted.
I don't remember that, but I do remember the one against Essendon. Was that from this year or the year before?
No, it was this year. Yeah,
that was one where you just like didn't even turn up.
Didn't
get off the plane.
Which has happened all the last 2 seasons for the Eagles.
Yeah,
as well,
it happens for Freo as well. It's like when we get flogged, we make it a fucking creamy.
It's just so disappointing though.
We had 200-point floggings of Freo this year.
4.
Was it 4? It wasn't 400.
Yeah, it
was 2.
No, it was 4.
There was like a couple of 80s and 2 over 100.
No.
It wasn't 4 100-point.
It wasn't
floggings.
400.
I don't think it was. Let me double check that. Busher, why don't you give us your highs and lowlights while I confirm that?
I was saying my highlight of the year was like between like rounds like 4 and like 8 or 9 or whatever it was, where Freo looked like they were going to make the finals and actually not suck. That was a pretty good time of the year, I got to say.
Yeah,
3 over 100 and 1 89 pointer. So
okay, so you're both
in
right.
the middle. Yeah.
You're both wrong.
Make peace.
You're both wrong.
We both suck.
and 2 derby losses. Jesus.
Oh, it's alright, mate.
About time you guys bloody started coming back.
We're way ahead in
I think
derbies.
we've lost
in
in totals,
totals,
actually.
but
We haven't lost.
we
in a
won
while.
like all of them for ages.
Yeah, no.
We're about even, aren't we?
Still.
It's about even.
It's only like
We're
25 to 20, I think. No, 26
No, we're only
to
up
20.
by 2 or 3.
No,
Yeah, it's pretty
we're
close.
way ahead of that. We've won the last.
We only overtook this year or last year.
No. We never got overtaken, and we've won like the last 4.
Actually, no, fair
Yeah, I think it was down. I think it was 1 ahead. We were
Yeah.
1 ahead for a while, and I think it must be an even number. So I think
4.
I think it's 26 to 20 now.
considering though it took us till like 2000 to win the first derby.
Is that right?
I feel
Yeah.
like we can
right.
hold our heads kind of high in that regard.
Yeah, I know. I'm only joshing.
Josh.
What did Josh ever do to you, mate?
Let's not go there.
We know someone called Josh.
I know a few Joshes.
Get him in.
Oh, this is awkward.
Speaking of which, when I checked my phone before, one of them had actually rung me, interestingly.
That's not interesting.
He's got Josh. It was Joshing with you, mate. Anyway, that's
He probably wanted to lift home from Falls, the bastard, but anyway.
What was your highlight? Nobody cares.
Highlight, I said that middle patch of the year where Freo actually looked good. That was my highlight.
What was your low light?
All right.
Low light was the flogging.
straight after
Yeah.
that.
The rest of the season.
So, in summary, your highlights were the ones where you won, and the lowlights were the ones when you didn't win.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, especially the thrilling
I like it.
one goal wins we had. Like, we
Yeah,
looked like
fair
we
enough.
could,
Fair enough.
like there was that stretch where it looked like we could just, if a game was close, we'd close it out, and I was just like, fuck
Yeah,
this.
yeah, you did have some spectacular wins. Yeah, I can pay you that.
Clutch.
Spectacular
Clutch,
loss.
Beating the premiers at the G was pretty.
Yeah.
With the
We've
last
done
two of
that,
the game.
yeah.
2 years in a row.
2 years in a row. Again,
Right,
after
yeah.
Siren, wasn't it? Yeah.
And we beat
which
the
one was-
Dogs
Yeah, 2
this
years in
year
a
as
row
well.
beating the Premier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mind you, that's probably not as impressive.
I'll say the
Well,
Doggies were
they were
disappointing this
unbeaten
year.
until they played us in round 6.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right. Is that right?
They were looking really good at the start of the year.
Yeah.
If you remember. Yeah.
Yeah, missed the finals in the end, I think, didn't they? Yeah.
All right, Lewie.
Gobby Shuey's goal after Siren. Just for the whole thing. I was at Highway Hotel, Bunbury. Sponsorship, please. And
Fuck no.
just,
They're
we're
not
sitting
sponsoring
there
us.
on the
Oh,
table and
they're
there's
sick
just a
No,
group
them
of
not following us. Sorry.
us
Sorry.
sponsoring with money. Not following.
Free palmies, boy.
Yeah, free. Yeah. Anyway, so I was there, sitting there, and then a group of people the group Port. I don't think they Port Adelaide supporters. They just didn't like West Coast behind us, just giving shit the whole game and giving shit in the last quarter, like just because they thought Port were dominating, and to see him get that free kick at the end and keep the goal, and then just everyone just to lose their absolute shit. I mean, that's just one of my favourite sporting moments ever. I think.
Yeah, really? Wow,
fantastic.
that's a
just
big
to the
call.
whole. If I was sitting at home watching on the couch or something, I'm like, this is really enjoyable.
Yeah.
But just that upper echelon of being surrounded by
Really?
people that were
Yeah.
giving a shit the entire game,
That's
especially
cool.
towards the end.
Have you seen
Fantastic.
there's great footage of there's a behind the goal shot of Shuey's kick, and it's obviously all Port Adelaide fans,
Yeah, I
and
see
it's
that.
just
And the waving
dead
flags,
silent.
the things, bang.
Yeah, and then all the players go down. It's just one of
Definitely,
those hilarious moments.
That is a good point though, being around like antagonistic fans who are like the opposite of you. Because I remember one year, me and my dad got tickets to a derby, and they were like smack banging Eagles memberships. They were Polly Farmers seats actually, but anyway, we're sitting surrounded by militant Eagles supporters in like our Dockers gear.
Polly Farmers.
Yeah, just name dropping, but yeah, anyway. But Yeah, like it was one of the first ones in ages. Freo had won, and we were like in our Freo gear, like cheering our heads off, and all these Eagles supporters were just scowling at us because this was like the hardcore, like militant Eagles members.
I went and saw
The military wing of the West Coast Eagles.
Antifa or whatever it's called. Left wing. Oh, no, right wing. Eagles support.
Jihadist.
Well, it's like I went to the Melbourne game. That was the same thing. Some of those supporters have been flying over for years, and this is the first game they've ever seen them Melbourne win at.
Oh yeah,
I went to that. Yeah,
first time in 17 years.
We're behind the Melbourne supporters, which is that was a really really good game. Like that was actually one of the better games of football. I think the Eagles. Well, yeah, I've been to that were played by the Eagles. I think all year. Like again, as in like a team Eagles against Melbourne is actually very very like free flowing good game of football to watch. It wasn't boring or dour.
I think I'd emotionally switched off in that middle part of the year when we'd started to lose a few and we didn't play any kids, and I was just like, you know what, let's just fucking lose them all, get a good draft pick and start again.
A lot of people had that.
And then when we got better at the end is when I got more.
That's hard, isn't it?
Yeah.
So while we're on you, Lewie, what about non-AFL highlight and low light to do with sport? Keep it in sport.
Jeez, I don't know,
personal life.
Well, break it now.
Wow.
Breaking Bad was good. Is that what you're saying?
I just started watching that again. Yeah.
Was that a highlight of the year?
Yeah. Fuck me.
Jeez, I don't know. Fuck. Right. What did happen in sport this year? That's actually interesting.
Well, maybe
got the Ashes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Recency bias because it's the closest thing.
We've got you're a Tottenham fan. They beat Real Madrid.
Yeah, but that's I know, but that's in group stages of Champions League. It's not. That was good, but I don't follow them with any kind of heart compared to a lot of other things, especially AFL, probably cricket as well. I don't know. What was a loss? I couldn't get into the Socceroos. I could not get into that.
We won. We made the World Cup.
I know, but we basically fell into it. If we drew with Iraq. Was it Iraq? Or was it who we? It was Iraq, wasn't it? And then he had the guy had the free kick at the end of the game with about 2 minutes to go, and he hit the post from a free kick. If that went in, we wouldn't have made the World Cup.
Yeah.
And if you're playing against like Iraq, I think Syria. You're playing against fucking Syria.
Yeah.
Syria, for fuck's sake.
Iraq hasn't won us for a while though.
100 drone strikes like a day on that country, and they're still almost beating us at soccer.
Yeah.
Like you're falling into the world. And speaking of that, I am actually going to the World Cup next year.
I know. I don't really care about it. I forgot to ask you about that. Phil told me that at work. I wanted to ask you about that. So you are going to the World Cup.
Alright, so I bought flights to actually
via Islamabad.
I'm going by camel.
Camel.
Staying with Jesse's home of Egypt and his relatives, and we're working our way up. A caravan of camels. No, I'm flying actually to Beijing and China, and we're taking the train all up to Moscow.
Fuck
the Trans-Mongolian.
It's cheaper.
And then
That'll be dope.
I saved $13.
That'll be
It's 46 hours longer, but
it's a good experience.
It's an old steam train, but
no, we're taking. So I'm doing it. Going from Beijing to Moscow for takes about 6 weeks actually. We're going to really stretch out that journey.
That's insane.
And then go to Moscow, then spend about 2 weeks following the Socceroos to the group stages, and then don't know after that. I think they're not going to make it past that.
Yeah.
Tickets to any game after that are going to be.
Do you have match tickets yet?
No,
the games haven't been fixtured yet, obviously.
They have, they got fixtured back in...
the groups got drawn, of course.
But I missed... I got the dates wrong, so there's a ballot system. I'm now in the ballot system. I stuffed up, so I don't have tickets, but I'm in the ballot system to get tickets.
At least you'll be quiet in Russia the month after the World Cup.
Well, I mean, even if you don't get like tickets to the Australian game, you can still go to some other pretty sick games.
True, which are probably going to be fucking way better.
Well, exactly. Watching Australia doesn't have the coach still. They still don't have the coach for the.
Like you want to support Australia, but if it's like choosing between like France versus Spain and like Australia versus Peru,
France is in our group. But if it's saying like, I reckon it'd be more interesting to watch Brazil or like Chile or something like. Chile's not in it.
I'd love to see Argentina. I'd love to see Messi
like alpha echelon players. It's like that, or I watch who plays for Australia, like
Timmy Cahill,
Lecky or something like
Aaron
that.
Moy is pretty good.
Aaron Moy,
fucking star.
Yeah, true. But like, comparison to watching Moy, plus Celtic. Like it's seeing those players compared to world class players like Messi and Yeah.
I went and saw us in 06 again, Australia Brazil. That was pretty cool.
I mean, fantastic.
Yeah.
Germany.
There was a bit of talk about Argentina coming here to play one of the first fixtures at Optus Stadium against Australia. Is that still
I'm not sure.
going
I do
ahead?
remember that. Yeah.
Even though I'm sure a lot of the top guys would not want to take a flight to Australia.
Well, no, they already did. They did. They played last year, didn't they? They played Australia.
That was
last
Brazil.
year. Was that Brazil?
Yeah.
No, because I swear I was.
Was it
oh
Argentina
no,
as well?
maybe I watched Argentina play. Yeah, maybe was that Brazil that played over here at the MCG?
Yeah, it was Brazil,
Was
wasn't it? Yeah,
Yeah, but they didn't fly big
it was.
stars over either, did they? I flew Neymar over.
A
didn't
few, but like a lot of the good ones still stayed at home, like Coutinho and the real good
they?
ones.
Yeah, the real good ones.
Firmino.
Ronaldo.
Not sure if he was in the squad, but yeah.
Ronaldinho, he didn't fly over this time.
Neither did original
Didn't make
Ronaldo,
Ronaldo, yeah.
Original.
Adriano,
Zinger Ronaldo.
Robinho.
The
Isn't
KFC
he in
reference.
jail for rape?
Yeah, I think so.
Rapinho.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not bad. I'll pay it.
Okay. It's okay. Sporting highlights.
Speaking of highlights,
well, not a lot happened. I mean, this in terms of cricket, yeah, the Big Bash League and the IPL.
so the Scorchers won the Big Bash earlier this year, as in last BBL 6, and obviously we're now in BBL 7, and they're sitting like pretty good in third. at the moment.
second or third.
Yeah,
They were
I
first,
can't
and they lost to Brisbane.
Yeah, I want to say third, to be
Yeah.
honest.
I don't know. The Matildas did really well. They're in the top. The women's soccer team, they're in the top.
I can't believe Sam Kerr didn't finish in the top 3 in Balloon d'Or. That's like
That was
a
she's
joke.
nominated.
She's
so,
easily
yeah.
the best female soccer player in the world. She's the
How many
highest.
female soccer players in the world do you know?
Huh?
How many
Yeah.
female world soccer players do you know though?
Well, I know none of them have the goal scoring.
That's
Yeah, her
she's
stats
got-
are pretty insane.
Yeah. Well, no, yeah. What's this? Yeah.
Yeah, but apparently, I don't know if you remember Bobby Despotovsky. He's works with the women's side. He said he thinks Australia needs to play bigger international games
Right.
or win some trophies for Sam Kerr to be
Yeah,
considered one of the best. It's always a thing with like, especially it's a real soccer thing that you have to like win trophies to be considered
it's a big
great.
thing,
Like,
isn't it?
it's a massive thing with Messi. People say, "Oh, he would be the greatest of all time, but he doesn't have that World Cup trophy." It's like, well, no, it's like
Yeah,
if he
that's
is the
quite
best,
a
he
big-
is the best.
That's
Yeah,
a big
I
comparison
agree.
to Maradona, though, who led
Yeah.
Argentina to 2 World Cups basically on his own
Yeah.
back. I think, and that's what people always say. Oh, Maradona's the better player. But like is it Higuain that plays with him that just constantly just butchers it? Yeah.
He's so good at club level as
But
well.
he just
It's-
butchers it. Over the last, I think it's the last 2 World Cups, he's just cooked it really hard every time.
Yeah. Well,
I feel
they
sorry
got
for
pretty
Messi.
unlucky in the last World Cup. They made the final, but like Messi was played injured.
Yeah.
Di Maria didn't even play the last
Higuain
game.
cooked
Higuain was like fucking, I don't know what he was doing. Just missing everything at the World Cup, pretty
Eating
much.
pies.
Yeah,
Pretty much in the stands.
probably. Speaking of eating pies, we had Wayne Shaw this year, so the goalkeeper that played against Arsenal.
Yeah,
And there was
that's a
odds
great story.
against him to eat a pie, and he match fixed by eating a pie,
Yeah.
and then got sacked from the club.
Oh, that's fucking rough.
Well, match
It's funny, yeah. It is technically, because you're
That's
influencing in
match
the way people make money. But then
I
again,
feel kind
shame
of
on them.
like, it's like bullshit that a betting agency even offers odds on that. It's like,
Yeah.
come on.
Has nothing to do with the result. of the
Yeah,
game,
Yeah,
too.
exactly.
Betting in sports a thing that's pretty. I don't know. Betting in alcohol is a massive thing that people associate with sports, and like there's big things pushing against those. And you see, like if you're at a sporting ground, and it's just advertising everywhere.
Yeah, there
and
is.
it's always betting, advertising, or alcohol. I mean, 4X Gold's the official sponsor of the
'cause
Australian
the-
cricket team. What does that? Fuck does that even mean?
It's because of the demographic. Everyone who loves cricket loves singing
Also,
piss.
like, you're singing piss
And drinking beer.
And drinking.
And they love
Bear Grylls. Watching the National Geographic channel when they get home each day.
But it really is a demographic. Like, how many people our age do you know that just love betting and they all love sport? It's just,
This bloke.
yeah, you like to lose money.
Mate, I've been profitable the past 2 big batches. I'm currently up $5 for the season.
Are you kidding me?
Oh, that's good
Jesus.
stuff, brother.
Mate, yeah.
Just a big bash. How about everything else?
I haven't betted on anything else actually. I'm an NBA guy, but I just don't bet on the NBA except like futures.
I've lost so much money betting.
Futures.
I've lost so much money betting against the Scorchers over the history of the BBL. I just keep betting against them. I bet against them in when Klinger hit that 6 at the end to win. Who do we just
Klinger or
beat?
Agar?
Klinger.
Okay.
Who do we just beat? Sixers. Yeah. I bet against them, but
That was Voges that hit the 6.
it was yeah.
What are you talking about
Klinger
last
got
week?
80 odd.
Last week. Oh, okay.
Yeah. When the game before last, yeah.
Yeah.
Right, these are 2017 highlights.
What did you guys think
Yeah.
of the yeah, true. What do you guys think of the Brad Hodge comments about the Scorchers and how their list management needs to be looked into because
What was that exactly about? 'Cause I couldn't hear him talking on his on-field comments, and apparently Justin Lang was very furious about him.
he's basically to be fair, when he said it at first, he just said, "I think their list management needs to look into." That's extremely inflammatory because
It is.
It implies some sort of cheating. But when he
out
clarified
the
it,
salary cap or something.
yeah,
like that shit.
exactly. That's what it implies. And when I read it, I was like, "What the fuck?" And then it turns out he was suggesting that the fact that Perth only has one team is a huge advantage. Which now I think about
I feel
it,
like
it's
I don't know, like...
I think he's a dumb.
I think he got caught out a bit.
Yeah.
I think he was just being
He was put on the
stupid,
spot.
to be honest. I think he was really stupid. He's like more professional than that. He should know to
He's
say...
always struck me as a pretty dumb bloke. Brad Hodge.
Yeah.
Like he has. Like
Do you think he's just pushing 40 and just doesn't give a fuck anymore?
He's like
Yeah,
pushing
that's the other
50.
thing.
No,
The
this is
cunt's pushing
bullshit.
50.
Brad
He's like
Hodge.
45.
Talking about
46.
Brad Hodge.
Yeah, I know. Brad Hodge is 45.
Yeah. What?
he's pretty old.
Yeah, he's
I
45.
don't know if he's 45.
He's not
but
45.
I remembered
old.
saying it. Fucking Brad Hogg's 46. Brad Hodge
Do you want to
45.
put money on that?
I'll put money on it. I'll fucking.
You love losing money.
I'll put $5 on it. Straight up.
1974, he's 43.
Oh,
I always said 43. 45.
I knew he was
I
closer
thought-
than 40, mate. 45.
I thought he was like 38, to be honest.
I thought you were 38.
Black don't crack.
Um,
Anyway, I'd say jeez, we fucking played. We didn't have enough players to actually have a fit 11. We had to get 2 grade players in, Bassisto
True,
and Phillips
true.
to play for us. Then we had Tim
They're
David,
shit.
who never even played for WA.
I-
He played in the
I guess the argument against that is if we had a second team, we wouldn't have coped, and that's the battle that other Melbourne and Sydney teams have to deal
That's-
with.
And we
Yeah.
might have kept a few of our guys that went in to state, like Darcy Short. If there was 2 Perth-based teams, one of the 2 would have kept him rather than him going to Hobart.
I guess Marcus
Sweetness.
Harris. The thing is, Hodge as well plays for the Renegades, who just not stole, but poached Hogg.
And Ludeman. They poached Ludeman. And
Yeah, but I mean, they poached Hogg on a massive contract. That stole our best player.
Well, that's the big
Not
talk.
stole,
That's the
best
big
player.
thing. I mean, they talk a lot about that. I was listening on the radio. They talk about a lot about the Perth culture. How they keep like the one day in the Sheffield. They really keep these like a close knit kind of thing. Probably because Perth is so isolated. It's probably as you see this in all the kind of things, music and everything, how isolated it is and how how these people stick together. But that's the thing. You have to. I think Justin Lang was talking about the people that come over have to really buy into it. They have to buy into. They train. They all train together. Like even the people that come in, they train together for the one day. Yeah, just like the entire thing.
They have the same coaches for all formats and stuff like that. You can kind of liken it to the way the Swans in the AFL have always
The
operated.
Blood's kind of culture.
Yeah, exactly right. It's the
yeah.
same sort of cultural thing with it. And they can take players and make them real good
But
players.
to do that, we have to keep the same kind of players together and keep it loyalty, and that's the thing that these Melbourne teams don't really do. As you said, there's buying in other players and buying in international players that don't buy into what those teams are about, and that's what Perth has done and trying to
One
do.
of
It
the
shows
things
success.
One of the things I love about Langer as well is the amount of youth he's played over the years. So now it's coming to the point where we've got such a talented group. So we've got like Bancroft, Cartwright, we've got Whiteman, we've got Turner,
Behrendorff.
we've got Behrendorff,
Harris,
we've got
yeah,
Richardson,
these players
Harris,
that- yeah.
all these guys coming through. And the great thing was, Langer was playing these guys on the Scorchers side when they were like 21, 22 years old.
19 in the case of
playing
Richardson.
them in at number 3, in the batting order, and he had a lot of faith. And then if you just put those older, experienced guys like Voges and Klinger,
That's
who they
the
can
thing.
just build
Yeah.
innings around.
Well, that's the thing. Klinger was didn't he play? He played for 2 states, and then no
He
one
did.
wanted him. And
South
then
Australia.
Then
I
he came
think
to
definitely.
WA,
Yeah,
and then
maybe Victoria.
So this is a recycled player that's sort of brought into our culture, and
You could almost argue he's been the greatest Big Bash player over the course of the first 6. You can argue he's
Yeah,
Big Bash player
just
ever.
about. I think it was
Fantastic,
last year's highest score.
He's got the most runs ever, I think, in the
Yeah.
Big Bash or something. He's
Yeah.
up there. He'd be
Right.
top 3 in the most
But
runs
Justin
ever.
Lang came in when WA's in like a shambles as well.
Yeah.
Now we've won the One Day Cup. We went playing the finals of this
Sheffield
year,
Shield,
Sheffield Shield.
was. I don't think it was the most recent one.
We drew with Victoria, I think, and they
won.
incumbents, so they
Yeah.
win through that. And then we've won the last 2020s in.
Yeah.
I guess the only thing that sucks about doing so well is that Lang is going to be
He's gonna be
gone
the
within
next
2
coach.
years.
That's what I was going to
Yeah.
say.
Australian
That's
coach.
something that's probably helped us is that he's the heir
He has to be the
apparent.
next Australian coach.
Yeah, he's the
doesn't
heir
he? I mean,
apparent,
who are you
I'd
going to
say.
go with?
I've heard Ponting
Hopefully, we've kind of got an assistant in there that Lang is just like drilling everything into,
Yeah.
who we can just a bit like the same way
Kevin
Ruse.
Spacey does.
Yeah, a bit like the same way Ruse did with Longmire.
Yeah.
So yeah,
They're cool. Yeah.
um,
I don't know who they have on the coaching staff. Who's anyone local? Like they don't have.
I don't know.
Like I don't know. You don't hear a lot about the assistants from
no.
WA.
Interesting. Who was it? Tim David, was he the guy that came in the other day and did really well? I saw an interview with Langer and he'd never even heard of this guy, and then a mate in England who hadn't spoken to in 15 years had this Tim David guy playing for his local county or whatever, and called Langer up and said, "You have to give this kid a run. Like he's amazing and he can smash it."
Ball, yeah.
Yeah, and I think he won the MVP for like the grade cricket in Perth for last season. So Langer's given him a crack, and
Just why not? Yeah.
he's done really well. Apart from dropping a catch the other night.
Oh yeah.
He did okay in that game. He swung at everything and he did connect a few times to those sixes.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I don't think he's a fantastic prospect.
I'm not sure. I think I would guess like 25, 24,
range,
something
yeah.
like
Yeah,
that.
early
But
20s.
I could be completely wrong.
Yeah.
That's the podcasting in a nutshell.
It's all just conjecture here. On the
That's speculation.
Yeah, just made up stats.
He's 45. Oh. He's 43.
He's definitely like 36. But just on the whole Scorchers and their advantage thing, the thing is the Strikers and the Heat from Brisbane and Adelaide, they have the exact same advantage and they haven't done as well as us.
Yeah.
And it's only Melbourne that's shit. The Sydney Sixers and Thunder have both won before. Sydney Sixers won the Champions League when it was a thing. I don't think that's a thing anymore, is it?
I haven't heard of it in a few
No,
years now.
no.
Where
So it's
the
only in Melbourne.
Scorchers played over. That was when Mitch Marsh got dropped because he celebrated his 21st.
Yeah.
And
So-
Sean get
Yeah,
dropped?
Sean did as well. Yeah.
We did extremely shit that series. I remember we just took a completely different squad over to the one we won the league with. So
Yeah,
It's kind of funny that Sean's like.
Well, we did
third-
win that year. It was the Sixers won that
that's
year.
true. Sorry, we came second. Yeah,
It's kind of funny that like Sean's 34 and everyone's just like, yeah, he's just starting to mature. I think like he can
He's-
finally play Test
He's
cricket.
18 months
And
older than
it's-
Alistair Cook.
And it's just
He's
like,
18
yeah,
months
he's
older.
34.
Yeah, Cook's hit 12,000 test runs.
Fucking
Yeah.
hell, yeah.
I mean, you gotta give him credit. He's been pretty bloody good in this.
Let's see. There's
series.
no. I don't think there's anyone else in the country that could have performed the role that he has for us in this series.
I'm really not like. I don't know if you guys saw what Smith said about Maxwell, about how he needs to train smarter. He doesn't train.
Did he actually say
Well,
that?
yeah, he did. He came out and said a lot of people weren't happy actually because they said, you know, you're supposed to keep that to like
Yeah.
locker room.
Didn't Maxwell
but-
do the exact same thing to Wade?
But
I know
yeah,
Smith's the captain,
But I think there's a lot of word coming out that Maxwell doesn't get on with a lot of guys in
Yeah.
the team.
Well,
yeah.
Warren made the comments about him him being dropped. It's no good against the short ball, and he thinks he made those kinds of Warren made comments about that. I don't know. Apparently, like you read about these things, especially on Big Footy and stuff. People say, no, he's been regarded as this arrogant prick and stuff like that. And
I think you can understand how that would piss Smith off if they're batting in the nets for a test and he's playing like reverse sweeps and stuff like that.
Well, especially a guy like Smith. I mean, God, the amount of he lives and breathes it. I guess really doesn't he?
But
Maxwell himself called out Wade, didn't he?
he did. He
Yeah.
was pissed off about batting
Lower
lower
than
in
Wade.
the order.
Yeah.
And Wade was the captain, which
Yeah, I think he said something like Wade fancies himself more, so he puts himself higher. Something like really shitty like that.
I don't know. Obviously, he doesn't get on
But
with
he
a few
can-
guys in the team, especially Smith.
I listened to him a bit on like the ABC Grandstand Sport, and he carried himself like across really, really well. If anyone tries listening to that, that was during. I think I'm not sure it was this test. I think it was day one or something of this test. it's probably on their website, but he carried, really, really well, came across really well, like really professional and that kind of thing. He just said he had to work on his game, he wasn't hard done by and that kind of thing.
I think
people like that are deceptive. When they're good and media trained and they're good actors, they're really deceptive. You can never really tell what a person's like just from the way they front up.
No, that's true. Very well media trained, obviously.
Yeah.
But
just trying to get everyone on his side as well. I mean, why we're not calling him like a vindictive sneak, but like, we kind of are.
Well, I think he's still extremely talented, but he's still got that problem where he scored 280 the other day, and then he gets like 6 and 4 in the next 2 innings, and it's just like there's no consistency with him at all.
It was good for us in India, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He did hit that 100.
He does. The Indians seem to
bruce.
Actually, they love Glenn Maxwell.
He's played a bit of IPL, so he can be used to the conditions.
Players that make impact in IPL.
He's a high-paid IPL player.
Yeah,
I think he's like 1.52 million a season or something.
He is ridiculous.
He's very good friends with Virat Kohli as well.
Oh really?
Yeah. Which I
so
don't know how that's possible, but we'll have to cut that out.
For scared fans as well. Just kidding.
We love Virat.
Yeah. No, he's a fucking
We love the Indian actually. Speaking of India, South Africa cricket series is on at the moment. Not sure if anyone's been following that.
I have not at all.
Really good. I don't think it's much better cricket in the world than watching a South Africa series, especially South Africa home series. So they were down. I think South Africa about 3 or 4 for. It was nothing. They were like 10 or something like that. And AB de Villiers came in, and so he missed. This is his first test back because he's been off. He's missed about 15 tests, I think, the last 15 tests. And so he came back and just didn't miss a beat. And he's
a freak.
He's so good to watch.
Freak.
I mean, Steve Smith, he mountain of runs, but watching him play is not the most exciting batsman that you like. If you like compared to say Ricky Ponting or saying Ricky Ponting came out to bat in his prime, that's exciting. You know, you pay to watch. I'm not sure if I'd pay to see Steve Smith. Oh, I would, but I have. But like, but in terms of like, if I just now I hate soccer, but no, that's the thing. Like AB de Villiers and like I think South Africa series that it was like India were bowling the lead bowler there. He ended up with 6 figures, 6 for 80 or something, and they were 4 for 10 or 15. And AB de Villiers came in and he and Faf recovered. I think they made 280 and they bowled India out for 200. And now they're just really engrossing series. Like they're so good, and like when Australia plays over there, I think we have beaten them the last 2 or 3 times. They're really there's a lot there for both teams. I think and those series are really fun to watch for that reason.
Sorry. I was going to say, with that test, when we play South Africa, do you guys reckon they'd be the decider who's the best team in the world at the moment? Would you say that?
Well, we're not even in the top 3. If we win this test, I think we go up to 3 in the ICC test ratings or something like that. But we tour South Africa soon, and I'd be interested to see who comes as favourites.
That's what I meant.
As in, I think...
If we beat South Africa, that's what I meant. Would we beat
I don't think the Australian side is amazing at the moment. I think they're all right.
Batting is very...
I think we got lucky. We're playing England at a real transition time where all the older guys are real old and all the young guys are real young.
I think we're very lucky that we had Steve Smith in the form that he's in, because without him, I think we would have lost...
No Ben Stokes too.
Yeah,
he's probably the best player almost.
Well, but he's a fucking dickhead.
Yeah.
So he does it. But like, we've always... I don't know, Australia's bigger. We've always like had Michael Clark, who saved our asses forever. Steve Smith has saved our asses forever. It just seems like...
There's always...
We're making a lot of runs across the board though. Like, if you look at our top 7...
We've had 9 individual hundreds, I think. Or something crazy.
And 20, every bowler has taken 20 wickets. So
the Marsh brothers have had more centuries in England.
That was?
What?
So facts! Take it! What were you saying, Tracy?
The Marsh brothers have had more centuries in England.
Yeah, that's a fact.
That's crazy.
You know, a series of shit when Mitch Marsh is making twin tons. I had a controversial thought today. I think, looking back...
Kevin Spacey did nothing wrong.
I want to defend Rolf.
Cut through the conversation like glass. Like butter, I mean, not glass.
We don't cut glass.
It's an expression.
Pretty hot laugh for that.
I was going to say, the series in Australia are always the worst.
Yep.
if you always, they're always road pitches, and Australia usually win. Unless, I think of one Ashes series where we got belted, but all
In
the compelling
Australia?
series.
And we got belted and there was runs. And they just
2010, 11.
Yeah,
I think
and they
it
just
was.
made a shit ton of runs because it's all roads.
We lost
except
3-1, and it was this.
Yeah.
Sorry,
No, you're right.
we lost 3-1, and
No, that's us.
that was when we got bowled out on the Boxing Day morning. Bowled out in the first session.
Oh,
we lost
Disgusting.
3-1.
Yeah. Bad time.
I don't think I've ever had a really compelling series in Australia. Like all the pitches are roads. Go to England, the seaming swinging conditions, overcast
Things that
overhead.
Both teams.
Yeah, teams get bowled out for
badly
300,
bowled,
350. South Africa is probably even better than Australia. India, I love the Indian series because both teams is like it's an absolute landmine of the pitch. Always, it's always ridiculously fucked up pitch, and teams get bowled out for 150 in the fourth innings.
I do like the Indian series, but it does always annoy me how much drama always happens
Yeah,
with the
yeah.
Indian series. There's
Yeah.
just so
It's
much
the Harbhajan
tension
stuff,
between the
and
two
then
teams.
The Harbhajan stuff we never
Goddamn Harbhajan
never
stuff.
let go.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
Yeah,
But no,
let's
you're
not
right.
get into
I think
that.
Australia's probably the worst. It's just batting roads and
Yeah.
the ball going to bat really hard.
Yeah.
But all
It
the
always
shield,
beautiful
all the shield
conditions.
wickets.
They are kind of designed for Australia to just do well.
It's
Well,
fast
as much as
bowlers,
India is,
just
though.
fast
Yeah.
bowlers
India's
can come in
exactly
and that's true. But I think how South Africa has it, how it actually produces swing and and seam bowling stuff in their pitches, and it's an actual battle. And actually lets another team
Yeah.
just play good cricket. I think this is serious.
I was actually thinking
boring.
it's going to be weird with the new Optus Stadium playing internationals there. Like the WACA is such a historic ground.
Yeah, I
Some
know.
people say the fastest pitch in the world.
Mm.
And it's going to be interesting to see. Are they going to be able to replicate that?
Well, it's going to be dropping pitches, and so they're the new stadium, and WACA's never been dropping pitch. But that's the thing they're talking about. They're talking about this. They used to get the clay from a place down Harvey for all those WACA pitches. Then they ran out of that clay, and they've tried to find deposits here and there, but they've never been able to replicate it. Like from when it came from when the pitches in the 60s and 70s and stuff like that. But I think there's a big thing about dropping pitches. People not knowing how to. Like they don't break up like the waves we saw in Melbourne because they're just big. The grass is and it's so compacted in that they just don't break up at all, and then just constantly rotate. As people were saying, in that Steve Smith they're saying they could have played for another 3 or 4 days. Like by the time this test season happened, the pitch would have been exactly the same.
Yeah,
and they've been doing that. So I don't know if it's the issue. They've been doing dropping pitches at the G for 25 years now, and if this is why is this still an issue? Is it because they haven't had a bit of time off to upgrade the technology and whatnot, or is it not feasible? Dropping pitches can't get to that state, or are they just incompetent? Like what's going on? And they've actually taken the WA. They've taken the WACA curator from here. So MCG now has taken our curator.
Okay.
For,
There's a rumor that Jeff Thompson bowled a ball at the WACA at 170 kilometres.
Yeah, they do say that shit, but
is
you
there
can never
rumors of him
verify
hitting
it.
the back sight screen on the full
What?
Nah, I can't.
after well I don't know
After a bounce?
yeah
After
like
a bounce,
hitting it on the full yeah. Now you read that a lot. And people have I think people have kind of confirmed it like around that era, but
That's nuts.
like one bit
real.
but
I don't
it's
know that one.
but this crazy fast. I've been doing a lot like Forged in Fires, some really good series on that were on Win during the last Perth thing, and they had a lot about Thompson, Lilly, and stuff like that. And fantastic series. If that's what watching just fast bowling.
People love to romanticize the past, though, don't they?
That is also
Especially
true,
in cricket. Because it's such like I don't know. There's something about the game that's like they still hold on to real traditional values in cricket. Like a lot of the rules are rules that were created 120 years ago.
Traditions and stuff like that.
Like, what's up with that one with where you have to like if the ball's already hit the stumps and then you want to throw it back? This happened to Voges when he got run out. You have to pull out a stump and the ball at the same time.
Yeah, you have to hold the ball and pull it.
Who just created that?
Well, if the bails are already off, how else would you get them out?
I don't know why one stump? Why you have to pull it out with the ball? I guess.
How else would you do it though?
I don't know. If it just hit a stump again with the ball.
Yeah.
But I guess it's.
I guess, but they need to see. There needs to be a moment where the wickets are out. You know what I mean? Like you can see it leave the ground. It's the same thing. You can see the bail leave the thing. So I like that one. Personally. There is some weird shit there. Yeah, definitely in cricket, but. We won't go down that road.
Yeah, anyway.
Kevin Spacey.
I think this series, Ash's series, has been very boring. Besides Steve Smith scoring a shit ton of runs.
I haven't watched
Where's
that
the
much.
interest?
Yeah.
I watch it because it's on TV, and so like, oh, yeah, the cricket's on. But like, there hasn't been an engrossing series at all.
As I said, if
Really
Mitch Marsh is hitting tons, like,
Yeah.
fuck, how shit is the opposition?
Shock. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I think Sean's now the second highest scorer for the series.
Averages 80 or
right.
something like that. Yeah. It's good. I mean, it's a good player, very good player, very talented
Yeah.
player. But like, for this, just no interest. There's just been no real batters, except Adelaide when they tore us when we went into bat again in the night session and they ran through us. That's probably the only kind of.
A funny one for this series has been Dave Warner. I think he's not. It shows how good he is when you think he hasn't been that good in this Ashes series, and he's still got like 400
He always scored
runs.
back-to-back hundreds
And
last
he's
test. Yeah.
the third highest scorer in the series only because Marsh got like 150 today. Otherwise, he would have been second for the series.
That's incredible, yeah.
Which,
I would have thought it'd be, in my opinion, like, underwhelming, I would have said. For
Yeah. Well,
He just makes sense.
he's the third
couple of 80s.
third fastest Australian to 7,000.
6,000, I think he's on.
No, 7. And Smith is the equal second fastest to 6,000. With,
I'm pretty sure Warner's
With
only on
innings with
6,000.
Sunil Gavaskar,
No,
pretty sure.
it's 7. Have a look.
I'm thinking he's equal to 6,000 with Sunil Gavaskar from India.
I thought it was
Smith
Gary
is-
Sobers, Steve Smith. But anyway.
Look at all these facts we're throwing out.
Quick
One of
confirm
them
both
don't
these.
know.
What? This is just cat videos, Jesse.
6,000.
6?
6, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Unless it's
fair
first
enough.
pass runs.
But anyway. And yeah, comparing Smith to Sobers though, and Sobers had like 300 wickets when he
Oh yeah.
had 6,000 runs at the same time.
True.
Which
That's pretty
is
phenomenal.
amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good point. I forgot Sobers bowled. I
Yeah.
forgot all about that.
Those were the days.
Yeah, back in my childhood. All right, boys. Well, I know we're getting on for time, so maybe we could just have a quick look at the year ahead, 2018, in terms of what you want to happen, what you think will happen across either the AFL or anything. Maybe your personal life. Get that promotion you wanted. No, please don't say that.
Any of us actually have jobs?
What's that?
Do we actually have jobs?
This is our job.
This is our job. We get by.
Once a month, we get together for a podcast, and that funds
That funds us, yeah.
groceries. Bush, why don't we start with you?
All right.
What do you think will happen? What do you want to happen? Don't say the Fremantle to win the flag.
I wasn't going to say Freo to win the flag. I was going to say Freo to make the 8. That's what I was going to say. That's
Cool.
reasonable, I feel.
Is that a prediction,
Is that
or
what
is
you want, or is it?
Prediction, and I want it to happen. I'm going to.
Are you going to merge
The double
I'm going to
whammy.
merge two.
I don't want it to happen, but I think it happen.
I'm going to say Golden State, hopefully to win the NBA game, because I'm a Golden State fan. I was going to say that was a highlight of 2017 as well, if we got to that. Golden State. Want them to win again.
Mm-hmm.
Perth Wildcats to win again. Three-peat will be the first time they've ever done it, and they've been the most dominant. They're arguably the most dominant sporting team ever, the Perth Wildcats. Literally, if you look up the statistics, they've made like the finals every year in the history of like the NBL or some shit.
Wow.
They're the most dominant sporting team ever, statistically, apparently.
Yeah.
The Perth Wildcats.
Yeah, two bloody. This is completely off topic, but who's the two newsreaders in Perth? They've been doing it for ages.
Which channel? Like Rick Arden?
Rick Arden. They are
Suzanne.
and Susanna Carr
Yeah.
are the longest serving like duo on news
Are they
in the
Jewish?
world.
Oh, wow.
Really?
No, yeah, but yes, but I don't know.
They're legends.
They're the longest serving, as together. They're still currently going in the world.
That's interesting.
What legends? They are legends.
Legends,
Yeah.
legends of
So that's
screen.
sort of a prediction.
That's one of them's gonna die, and then
And that is
one of them's gonna die.
and that is
Double
my-
down there.
That's my wants category gone.
Fuck. If that actually happens, we're gonna fucking delete this.
I'm fleeing. Rick Arden, man.
New Year's resolution.
Oh, New Year's resolution. I've sort of tried to think of one. I haven't really been able to think of one, to be honest.
Smash less pingers, I guess.
Right,
Throwing
none of
under
that.
the bus there.
I want to double my finger intake.
For people that didn't hear that, he said smash less penis.
Also,
More pingers.
I want to double my pinger intake this year.
Louis. What a wholesome podcast. What do you reckon? Louis?
Fuck editing this.
What was the
Just
question?
don't do it. Predictions, wants, and a resolution, and please keep it family
All right,
friendly.
I reckon a Melbourne team to win the grand final again.
Really
I want.
gone out on a limb there, yeah.
That was negative.
That was
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's like 8 out of 10 teams.
Yeah.
Solid chance.
Yeah.
There's more than 10
That's my prediction. My want. Jeez. That's a hard one. Actually, does Australia play South Africa this year? This series? I think that if we won that would be something I'd really. If it's next year, Australia to win the cricket series in South Africa.
Yeah. We're talking about 2018, right?
Well, it's this year. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
It's
2018 is
coming
this
up.
year. Yeah.
Well, no, that's when I'm pretty sure that's when the
Yeah, they're
series
playing
is.
this year.
Okay. What's going on? What's happening?
What's going on?
What's going on, guys?
Did you say a resolution yet?
New Year's resolution.
So I kind of sprung this all on you.
Yeah, didn't
Yeah.
think
Just thought of it now.
resolutions.
Thought I'd hit Busher with it first.
Have more fun.
Anyway,
I thought graduate.
2 more pingers is what I meant.
so we got 2 for that. What do you reckon, Joyce?
My want, if I can't go Freo in the premiership, it's got to be. Yeah, I know. I mean, I know it's still a real outside chance, but Liverpool Champions League
To win.
to win.
Yeah.
On a lesser level, just maybe get like a really decent Coutinho replacement, and I'd be pretty happy with that. What else? Yeah, Freo to make the 8 would be good. I think it's about time we've really been developing that.
It's make
youth.
and break. It's make and
developing
break for
the
Ross
development.
Lyon.
It is.
Surely
It
it has
is.
to be. I don't know if he's signed for another. I think he's signed
2020.
for
Till 2020, so I feel like if he has a bad year, they're probably going to be willing to cut him loose.
It'd be hard. Surely, if he had another bad year this year as a supporter group, how would you feel about
What's
that?
a bad year? Do you reckon bottom 4?
Bottom 4.
Yeah, I'd say bottom 4.
Oh,
would be
bottom
an
4,
average.
I think it'd be
200. Any more 100-point
I'd be,
floggings.
to be honest, I'd be quite surprised if we were bottom 4.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Yeah. What was the other one?
Predictions. Did you say predictions?
Predictions. Oh. What is my prediction? I think we're going to see another funny premiership win in that it'll be like a team no one expects. I think
AFL.
St Kilda.
I was going to say like a St Kilda or
Enough people like St Kilda, you know.
It's
I reckon
gonna-
they have the underdog when they played against Collingwood. I mean, it was. Collingwood wasn't. They didn't have the one grand final one in the last 50
I
years.
think the AFL has changed so much in the last couple of years in that teams can accelerate from being shit to good at a rate we've never seen before.
Yeah, that's true.
So I'm going to go with a weird,
A real stanky one.
Essendon.
a team
he stole mine.
like Essendon. And what else is there?
Resolution.
I don't.
Probably should have given you guys
I mean-
some warning. I didn't expect to ask that question.
I know this is kind of cunty, but I think resolutions are kind of wanky.
Oh, I do too.
Um,
But,
You know what? Shaka's more aligned.
just
than
in
this
that,
year.
it's like, why do you have to wait till
Yeah,
a certain day
yeah.
to be like, I want to make.
I'm going to the gym.
Yeah, exactly.
I hate my life. I have
Finally.
depression.
Finally, it's a new year and I can sort that out.
You knew me.
now I've got a bit of time off for the holidays. I can start to work on myself. And
Yeah.
as soon as it's January 2nd, they go back to work. It's completely gone.
My resolution would just be to, I don't know, do well at uni.
It's just something you want to do this year, I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah,
do well-
Do
have
well
more
at uni.
fun.
Okay. Fuck, I haven't even
Love
thought
your
about
mum.
my answer
Kiss
to
your
that
dad.
question. Oh yeah, I have actually. All right. Prediction.
How do you forget that? That is a line. That is a scripted line.
What is?
Oh, I just forgot. I wasn't thinking about that. No, actually, I was.
Okay, for my predictions this year, I'll start with what I want. I want the Eagles to finish roughly where they did this year, but just play more kids and have the improvement come from the younger guys, rather than, obviously we don't have that many older players to rely on anymore, but I don't care about finishing high. I don't want to finish low because we don't have a first rounder. Just stay where we are and have Archie and Yo
I
play
think
well.
if we have a season where we're more consistently given a fuck, I think would be nice.
Yeah.
If the difference between our highs, say the game against Geelong at home, compared to getting smashed by Essendon at Etihad, if there's a middle ground for that where it looks like the players actually give a fuck, I think that'd be fantastic for the season.
Yeah,
Okay.
that'd be great. And midfield improve, I guess. So, prediction. Okay, This is not a bold one. I'm going to say Queensland team to win the spoon. I reckon the Swans. Yeah. Go on now.
To win the spoon.
Yeah, no, I'll say the Suns definitely going to win the spoon. By far the worst midfield, I reckon.
Would have said North, but
Anyway, I still reckon North. But and Geelong Essendon Grand Final.
Jeez. I would put
Somebody say G.
I'd always...
I've
yeah.
got-
Yeah, he's schizophrenic. Like,
But jeez.
that's how your brain's like, what are you fucking thinking? I'd probably quit the AFL if that happened. If
I'd be pissed.
I could not forgive, I don't know,
What,
Essendon after the drug saga. All
Yeah,
that.
I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. I
But,
couldn't get into
I mean, how much of they haven't really benefited off the back of that. In fact, it kind of like wrecked all the players they did have.
Yeah, it cost them like the primes of like their jobs and
Yeah.
stuff, dealing with all that
over
shit.
the jobes.
The Jubes.
The
It's
jobs.
job.
The Job jabs.
Job.
Cost them all their
Stop
jobs.
putting E at the end of words.
They took their job.
Jubes. Jubes.
Anyway, I think this podcast is going on too long.
New Year's
What's your
resolution.
resolution?
My resolution is to make this podcast really good.
Say, what is it at the moment? Like, I mean,
Yeah, it's fine.
I want to take this podcast from shit to good.
I want
and so everyone is sacked, and it's it's just me next week.
yeah, so if you could all get 2 friends to watch no, we have improved quite a lot. We're over 1,000 views on the last 2 podcasts now. We're probably going to get some guests in the future. My wrestling friend.
Oh.
I don't wrestle with him.
Look at Kevin Spacey again.
No, I'm friends with a wrestler in Perth. He does like scripted wrestling. I think that would be awesome. I also have another friend. I haven't talked to him about this yet, but he used to work on the O emergency line, and I think it would be really good to interview someone about
I
that.
feel like that could be scary. Like,
Yeah, I know, but we're pretty brave here.
We tackle the real issues.
No, I was talking to him a bit about it. It's really interesting, so we might stay tuned for that.
boys, one more thing before we finish up. I just want to quickly get everyone, Fremantle and Eagles, a prediction on where they'll finish in 2018 on the ladder.
Okay, I'll go last.
So, Louis?
Oh, okay. West Coast will finish 9th, I think. Fremantle 10th.
Ooh, I like it.
That was one
Busher.
off.
I'm going to go with my prediction / I'm going to say Freo scrape it at 8 and Eagles 10.
I knew you'd put Fremantle high.
I've just got a feeling because I'm feeling like out all
think
the
I
stuff
will
we've done
as
over the
well.
past
I will as
couple
well,
of
to be
years
fair.
with
Fair enough. He's so anti-West Coast. It's ridiculous.
I'm not
You are very anti-West Coast. I've never ever made a point without you being like, nah, actually the Eagles are shit because of this.
You are the only side with the military right wing.
the military wing of the West Coast Eagles.
Polly Farmer just.
We was in right in the right wing section.
No, like, you know, like the hardcore, like.
Yeah.
Yeah. The
I thought you meant the
Neo-Nazis.
position of
The
the ground.
Nazi stand.
right
Sumi. Corporate box.
West Coast fans only. What are you?
So I'll go Freo 9, Eagles 11.
Oh, I was literally
9-11.
I was literally thinking.
There's a subliminal message. Bush did it.
Illuminati.
Yeah.
Stay woke, fam.
Bush did
Stay
it.
woke. Oh, Bush. Oh, I see what you did there. I like that.
Bush did.
Thank you. It's funny you say that. I was literally thinking Eagles 9th, Fremantle 11th.
Ooh.
I honestly think they're pretty. It's pretty hard to predict, really.
I've got one more prediction if it's just come to mind. Fifey, top 3 Brownlow. I'm putting it out there.
Could happen.
Didn't play.
Could
He's
happen.
looking back to his best.
I think he
though.
could win the Brownlow if we win enough games.
I was going to say win, but I didn't want to be quite.
I'm a big. I think everyone knows I'm an arrogant 5 supporter, but you got to love like your club's best player.
I reckon Dusty to win again.
Okay.
Nah. That's our view on that. No, I reckon
I don't like it.
all of which from over down here. Dusty.
Yeah.
Dusty.
His
I reckon
off-season would have been too big.
I reckon.
We'll be like Tom Liberatore style, like going
Yeah,
back, just
Yeah.
cool.
I reckon Richmond to have a down year, but Dusty still be sick. Just everyone can't like keep up.
I hope Richmond has a bad year. I hope so much.
Yeah.
Just to be able to trash the players that they think are just the best in the league.
They
like,
will too.
Nate Curvis, like, what, man? Like, no.
Yeah.
It's fuck.
Asprey,
We really
like,
rag on
Asprey,
some
like,
teams in this podcast. It was Collingwood. Now we're ragging on Richmond a lot tonight.
Would you help Rewald off a horse?
On that note, I reckon we should just now wind up.
Uncle Rewald.
Spacey would.
All right, guys. I think that's it. Yeah, we all good?
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right,
good
thank
fan.
you. Please
We are
like,
outta
comment,
here.
and subscribe. We'll see you next time.